Shelby fans stared in disbelief as a tiny Corvair blew past their GT350s. This is the explosive truth behind the 1966 Yenko Stinger, Chevy's Shelby killer, the flat six underdog that rewrote the rules of American racing. The 1966 Chevrolet Corvair arrived as a humble compact, its rear-mounted flat-six engine quietly hiding under the rear deck. Lightweight and nimble, it was largely overlooked by performance fans, dismissed as an economy car with little track potential. Don Yenko, however, saw opportunity where others saw compromise. He recognized the Corvair's balance, low center of gravity, and independent suspension as a platform that could challenge the Shelby GT350's dominating SCCA circuits. Yenko didn't just want a car that competed, he wanted a car that humiliated expectations. In his Pennsylvania workshop, the stock Corsa became a testing ground for suspension tweaks, engine upgrades, and chassis reinforcement. He meticulously tested setups over countless laps, noting even subtle handling quirks, and adjusted with surgical precision. Each modification was calculated to extract performance without breaking the Corvair's fragile chassis. By the time it hit the track, it was a predator in miniature, ready to shock the racing world. Some cars roar from the factory. Yenko made this one scream.
Recently, I had the opportunity to sign many autographs for the Yenko Sports Car Club and for my dad, who made automotive history with his cars.
Don Yenko wasn't just a dealer, he was a racer first, engineer second, willing to bend the rules to win. He made a name modifying Corvettes and Camaros, extracting performance that turned ordinary Chevys into track weapons. His philosophy, if the factory wouldn't do it, he would, intelligently and relentlessly. When the Corvair rolled into his shop, Yenko saw more than a compact car. He saw a lightweight chassis with near-perfect balance, a rear-engine layout primed for cornering mastery. Its potential to outperform heavier and more powerful cars in SCCA racing lit a fire in him. He meticulously documented each modification, tested every component under track conditions, and refined setups lap after lap for consistent competitive advantage. Every adjustment, from suspension tweaks to engine prep, reflected his vision of a high-revving, precision-focused racer. The Corvair wasn't just a car, it was Yenko's blank canvas, ready to be transformed into a Shelby stopping weapon. He did more than modify the Corvair, he transformed it. The first step in the transformation was surgical. The Corvair's interior was stripped of rear seats and unnecessary weight. Suspension was reinforced, springs and shocks upgraded, and chassis points strengthened to withstand the punishing demands of road racing. Every modification had a dual purpose: meet SCCA regulations while improving handling, durability, and driver confidence. Yenko's team also addressed weight distribution, ensuring the rear engine layout didn't compromise cornering balance. Brake systems were upgraded with larger master cylinders and improved components to handle repeated high-speed deceleration. The car retained its stock dimensions, but under the skin, it was reimagined for competition. By the time the Stinger rolled out, it was lighter, stiffer, and more precise than any stock Corvair. Every detail reflected racing intent, ensuring the chassis could handle the ferocious flat-six engine Yenko planned next. Power had to match the handling. At the heart of the Yenko Stinger was the naturally aspirated flat-six engine, producing 140 horsepower stock. Yenko's genius was in staged upgrades, extracting more from the lightweight package without destroying balance. Stage 1 boosted output to 160 horsepower. Stage 2 introduced higher compression, ported heads, and forged pistons for 190 horsepower. Stage 3 pushed 220 horsepower, while Stage 4 stripped weight and added aggressive tuning to achieve 240 horsepower for racing. Each modification followed a philosophy: maximize high revving efficiency, not brute displacement. The flat six could scream through rev ranges unreachable for larger engines, offering thrilling responsiveness and light handling that heavier competitors couldn't match. Dyno tests confirmed torque curves ideal for short technical circuits. The engine was so powerful it seemed surgical, perfectly tuned for the chassis. Yenko had transformed it. With power sorted, braking and traction were next. Braking was no longer an afterthought. Yenko installed a larger Cadillac master cylinder, giving the pedal a firmer, more precise feel. Springs and shocks were recalibrated, stiffened to reduce body roll without sacrificing nimbleness. The rear suspension got a limited slip differential, ensuring the engine's torque translated into cornering grip rather than wheel spin. Every tweak balanced weight transfer and handling, allowing the Corvair to stay planted in aggressive turns. Engineers tested tire wear, brake fade, and suspension response under simulated race conditions, refining the package until it could withstand repeated laps at the edge. These upgrades made the Stinger competitive, not by raw power alone, but by turning agility, balance, and predictable braking into a weapon. Against heavier, more powerful Shelby GT350s, the Stinger could enter corners later, exit faster, and sustain high speeds longer without drive error. Everything led to the track test. The SCCA debut shocked the racing community. Lightweight, nimble, and perfectly balanced, the Yenko Stinger darted through corners that left the GT350s scrubbing speed. Drivers reported confidence under braking and stability through high-speed transitions. Early podium finishes stunned Shelby loyalists, proving that careful engineering could offset horsepower disadvantages. Stage 2 and Stage 3 engine upgrades gave the Stinger burst of power when needed, while its handling allowed drivers to exploit every ounce of grip. The combination of light chassis, upgraded suspension, and reliable flat six meant fewer mechanical failures and more consistent lap times. Photographs from those first races capture the Corvair carving inside lines, while the Shelbys struggled to maintain traction. But the underdog's impact went far beyond the racetrack. The Yenko Stinger left a blueprint for performance thinking. Chevy engineers studied its handling first approach, informing later Camaro and Corvette programs. Tuners across the country adopted the philosophy, power without control is wasted. The Stinger suspension and traction mods inspired grassroots racers to push lightweight, balanced platforms rather than chasing raw displacement alone. Modern track cars and restored Corvairs demonstrate how cornering precision, braking optimization, and drivetrain reliability remain essential. Collectors reverently display original parts alongside modern race vehicles, highlighting engineering lessons that endure decades later. Yenko's work wasn't about flamboyance. It was about efficiency, adaptability, and making a small car a serious threat to giants. And yet, the Stinger story almost ended too soon. Production numbers were intentionally low, about 100 units in total, split between street and race-ready builds. Today, surviving examples are prized collectibles, commanding high auction prices due to rarity, provenance, and historical significance. Each car tells a story of ingenuity, lightweight chassis, high-revving flat-six engines, and Yenko's radical modifications. Museums, private collections, and restored race cars preserve the legacy, showing enthusiasts how a compact Chevrolet could challenge far more powerful competitors. The Stinger remains a touchstone for American motorsport creativity, embodying the underdog spirit that defined 1960s SCCA racing. Its lessons in weight management, handling, and high-rev engine design still resonate with tuners and racers today. Though short-lived, the 1966 Yenko Stinger is more than a car. It's proof that vision, precision, and daring engineering can leave a permanent mark on automotive history. Does that make it the real Shelby killer? Let us know in the comments.